Well, we've got some unhappy people down in Florida. Let's start in Lakeland, Florida. 2 a.m. barbecue joint. 200 of the fellas and their lovely ladies were having a good time until the cops noticed one of them was driving a stolen car. So all of a sudden, the guy is surrounded. The cops show up. I don't know if they know this guy was a dangerous felon, but this guy in the stolen car aims it at the cop, hits one car, hits another. All of a sudden, the cops are surrounding the car. At this point, they're firing. The door comes open. One of the lovely ladies hops out of the car. The cops are yelling, shooting at the car, telling him to stop. The crowd's got their full attention now. The guy proceeds to bash into another car. The fella was dead. Turns out the fella had a bunch of felonies. He was, even though he was only 17, he was considered a very bad dude. Now everybody in Lakeland is all pissed off because cops are going around shooting black people for no reason whatsoever.
A mother in shock and pain.
When your kid dies, you die too.
Trying to understand what happened in her son's final moments.
It's not a feeling that anybody wants to endure.
It's 2:48 Wednesday morning as Lakeland police work to disperse a large crowd at Salem's on the corner of North Florida and Memorial. They spot a black Camaro reported stolen. Surveillance video released by LPD shows officers approach with guns drawn. That's when they say the driver, 17-year-old Michael Taylor, hits the gas.
The assailant drove toward the officers, placing him in fear, as I said. They responded with lethal force, firing at the vehicle in an attempt to stop the vehicle and protect the officers and all the patrons.
The car stops. A female passenger jumps out. It then continues rolling, ramming another vehicle into a concrete building. 3 officers total fired at the car, but it's unclear how many shots were fired.
With over 200 people, there were a lot of people that were placed into jeopardy this morning in harm's way.
Taylor died from his injuries. Police revealed the 17-year-old was on felony probation as a violent offender of special concern and say they found a loaded firearm in the Camaro.
I was really scared that I was going to get shot.
Protesters stood at the scene Wednesday evening, demanding a closer investigation of the officers' actions.
All lives matter. All lives matter.
Through her grief, Taylor's mother is determined to find the truth.
As a teenager, what can you do? We talk to him constantly. I always give him advice and, try to steer him in the right direction. I can't even speak on his side or their side because I don't know.
15 miles away in Winter Haven, Florida, same day, the cops get a report of some of the fellas and their lovely ladies having a big old riot out in the street. The cops respond. So when the cops respond, everybody, whatever problems they were having with each other, they decided they were all having a problem with the cops who were trying to break up the fellas, just blowing off a little steam. Arrested 7 of the fellas and their lovely ladies. But if you look at the headline, it looked like, okay, it was just a little bit of argy-bargy. But if you read into the story and you listen to the people who sent me emails complimenting what you read in the story, you learn that there were people who were attacking the cops, pushing the cops, shoving the cops, grabbing the cops, trying to prevent the cops from getting to the people who were terrorizing the neighborhood.
A quiet day after Christmas here on Avenue R Northwest in Winter Haven. But last night it was the scene of a violent brawl.
Someone who had passed through the area saw that somebody was being severely beaten.
Winter Haven police say up to 30 people were crowding around the fight. When officers tried to step in and break it up, no one listened, and they became targets too.
They were pushed or kicked or spit on. We had 4 officers that were basically assaulted.
7 people were arrested. 5 of them, including a minor, were charged for attacking or resisting an officer. One ended up being tased. Police say he was trying to run away after aggressively pushing an officer.
There were quite a few that were pulling at the officers, pushing the officers, trying to get them to not break up the fight. And so ultimately we ended up with 7 people going to jail.
At this point, police say it's unclear what caused the fight in the first place. For now, they hope this serves as a reminder to keep tempers under control.
At a crowd of 20 or 30 people getting together and enjoying their time together, there's nothing wrong with that. Just need everybody to behave.
A day later, officers continue to investigate the fight. Despite the violence that broke out here last night, police say no one was seriously hurt.
I don't know, is this just a thing now? This is a thing the cops can expect when black people are involved in some episode of hyper-violence. We can now just expect hyper-violence to be directed
Lisa, I want some more.
And the cops are just supposed to sit there and shrug their shoulders and go, well, I guess that's just a part of good community relations, letting black people attack us. Because if we start connecting dots, start telling people what's really going on out there, the truth that cops know, that's going to make a lot of black kids angry.